This is the chess page 1 opening tier list for black, ranked from legendary game breakers to complete garbage that you should never play, unlike our first opening which is close to perfect. And here is how to play it. After e4 you play e5. Knight f3 is the most common move. You have to defend the pawn and play a long boring standard game without any fun. Is something I would never say because instead we counter-attack to maximize the aggressive playstyle. They capture the pawn and after that you offer your knight. They always take it, thinking your position will be ruined. But little do they know, this is exactly what you wanted. You tricked them into opening your center, which allows you to play very aggressive. The f2 square is actually so weak that even high-rated players often struggle to defend it properly. So let's rank the Stafford Gambit. The ranking is based on how strong, fun and easy to play the openings are. The Stafford is fun and strong, but definitely not easy. That might be perfect for some people, so I'll give it S tier, but if you're a beginner to intermediate player, there are even better openings for you. So don't just look at the final rating, any of these openings might be perfect for you, and if you click off to watch nonsense, you might never find it. Next up, O'Neill Gambit. After e4, you go b5. They capture your pawn and you get nothing in return. Right now the lowest category is no, but this is more a who invented this and why kind of opening. Next up we have the England Gambit. It happens after white plays d4, you attack with e5, it's okay, you can play it, but it's not specifically easy, fun or strong. Good thing we have some more openings, and one of the next three is legendary. The Bird's opening. You think this is the one? It comes after white plays f4, should you study how to counter this properly? No. Eat shit Bird's opening, you're worthless and not deserving of love. Scandinavian. After e4, you play d5. White usually takes, you take back and immediately some horse attacks your wife. You made two moves and your most valuable piece is in danger. Great. Jokes aside, this actually is a legit opening, but, considering most of you are beginner to intermediate level, it's not the easiest, nor the most fun, nor the strongest opening. The Scandinavian is solid, you can play it, but there are better ones. This next opening is unbreakable. If you learn it properly, nobody can stop you. It's legitimately legendary. After e4, you play c6. Your opponent plays d4 and you immediately challenge the center. This opening comes with massive strategic power and you will often find yourself conquering the center with a few easy moves. It's a truly amazing opening and you'll win many games because most of your low elo opponents can handle your massive dominant Caro. So what rank should an opening like this get? It's easy to learn, it's big fun, and it's very strong. We only have 2 legendary openings today, and this is clearly one of them. You should 100% learn it. And what's that? Another legendary opening? Right away? The Barnes defense. After e4, you play f6. Blocking your knight, not developing any piece and opening the diagonal to your king. No. This one is bad. Bad opening, go to hell. Gundogan defense. e4, e5, knight f3, everything is normal and natural. You play queen e7. Yeah, that's a no. We're defense, e4 and you go a5. No. Goldsmith defense, same thing but h5. No. Double king's pawn game. This is a real opening for once. e4 and you play e5. Most good openings come from the highly tactical king's pawn game. This is both fun and strong, but too broad. You can't possibly study the whole king's pawn game, so as a whole opening, the double king's pawn game is just too much to learn. The Sicilian. After e4 you play c5 and instantly gain 100 elo. The Sicilian is the most played defense on Grandmaster level. Clearly, it must be strong. It's also aggressive, which means fun. Sadly, it's also complicated. But don't worry, there's an easy variation for low elo rockstars like you. The Dragon Sicilian. They make a normal natural move. You go g6 and after some other white move, you bring your bishop here. Then get your knights out and castle. Easy, fun, strong. S tier. Great opening, but the next legendary opening is just untouchable. And what is this by the way? Anyway, now up is the Grunfeld defense. It can be played against d4, you get the knight out and if they ever go here, you can actually use the Grunfeld which looks like this. But it's not only rare, it's also not particularly strong or fun or easy. So let's move on to the next one. Get out of here Grunfeld, you pointless nonsense opening. The French defense. The baguette opening looks like this. e4 and after channeling your French energy, you resign immediately. Jokes aside, you play e6 to prepare an attack on d5. They usually try to conquer the entire center. You laugh and attack. The French defense is really strong and not that difficult, but against e4 you have better options such as the Caro con or the Sicilian. The baguette opening is solid, and our next opening is legendary. Out of all these openings, the next one is very unique. It's not only strong and aggressive, you can also play this against literally anything. No matter if your opponent plays e4 or d4 or any other move, you play d6, then get your knight out, push the pawn and position your bishop. Now castle, and later in the game you're going to attack either king or queen side. Literally no matter what your opponent is doing, the King's Indian setup is a great backup plan against literally everything. It's strong, aggressive and always useful. Everybody should learn this opening. Legendary. That's why my next video will be a guide on the King's Indian setup. Subscribe if you want to see it. Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Gambit. You probably know this one is an opening trap for white. You prepare your missile launch, and once the time has come, boom. Insert evil laughter. Let's make this possible for black. First of all, white has to play d4. Bring out your knight. White tries to conquer the whole center and you sacrifice the peasant.
But sir, I don't want to die.
And I don't want to pay taxes. Life is unfair, Jimmy. Now go here, attacking the pawn. They normally defend it with their knight, and you offer another one of your worthless servants.
Pawn lives matter.
And your bishop takes back. Now this knight is kind of annoying. They often push the pawn to make you retreat, but you don't retreat. Instead, you sacrifice the knight. The king takes it and you sacrifice your bishop. See that? This is why it's called the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Gambit. Your opponent is in check and basically has to take the bishop, and you become boom, the destroyer of chessboards. The ICBM Gambit for black is actually a trap inside of the Budapest Gambit, which is a solid opening, but nothing very cool. So now we have 3 more openings, and one of them is our mystery opening. St. George Defense. Your opponent opens with e4 and you play a6. Excuse me, what is this? St. George Defense? More like St. Goofy Defense. Get lost. That's a clear no. But, we have one more S-tier opening. This opening is perfect against d4. You counter with f5, and after some other move, you bring out your knight. This is the Dutch defense, and you can actually play it against everything that's not e4. An absolute S-tier opening. Next up is this opening. It's probably the most brutally aggressive gambit for black. It's also extremely rare. There's no way your opponent knows how to play against it. By the way, after that we will answer the question which openings you can learn to be prepared for every single opening move. But first, here's how the gambit works. e4, e5 and knight f3, very common boring moves. But now you go f5, the Latvian gambit. Most people take on f5 and after that you push your pawn, asserting dominance. Fast forward, your position might look something like this. This is a certified bye-bye moment for white. The ultra-tactical and ultra-aggressive Latvian is great if you're a high-rated player on a disrespect mission. If you're a beginner to intermediate player, this is a no. You have reached the best part of the video. Congratulations. Refocus real quick because this part will help you a lot. Ready? Let's build the most aggressive opening combo, the easiest opening combo and the most competitive opening combo. Against e4, you have plenty of aggressive options. The Sicilian defense is the standard aggressive opening. If you're looking for something more dubious, you should try the Stafford Gambit. Since it's rare, most people are confused into bad chess when facing it. For any move other than e4, consider the Dutch defense. It's very unbalancing, forcing an aggressive middle game. However, all these openings are really not that easy to play. If you're straight up looking for the easiest option, literally just learn the King's Indian setup and you can play it against any opening every single time as both black and white. The combo that I think will help you win more games consists of 2 openings. Against anything other than e4, you can still play the King's Indian setup. It's a quite easy, aggressive and strong opening. But against e4, there's something better. The Caro con. It's very dominant with a straightforward game plan for the middle game. e4 is the most common move and you can learn the basics of this opening in about 10 minutes. Highly recommended for beginner to intermediate players. Go watch the guide right now and you'll know how to dominate in less than 10 minutes from now.